brooding gloomily over the choice of hanging or throwing himself in the river, which would be less unpleasant, for his purchase had landed him over his ears in debt. Hogarth promised to help Jonathan and invited him to drop into his studio the following day. There, Tyers found the artist teaching some pupils, and the delightful lesson changed his melancholy into the sunniest of moods.
And nut brown hair, with rosy lips and nut brown hair, with limbs well turned, her air and mien, at once both sprightly and serene, at once both sprightly and serene. Besides all this, a nameless grace should be diffused o'er all her face. I'd have her too strict on a tight, and yet without one spark of pride. In company well dressed and fine, yet not ambitious to outshine, yet not ambitious to outshine. In private always neat and clean, and quite a stranger to the spleen, and quite a stranger to the spleen. Well pleased to grace the park or play, and sometimes dance the night away. I'd have her skilled in every art that can engage a wandering heart. Oh, all the sciences of love, yet ever willing to improve, yet ever willing to improve. To press the hand and roll the eye, and sometimes drop an amorous sigh, and sometimes drop an amorous sigh. And yet I'd have the charmer be by nature only taught for me.
Certainly, Tyers and Hogarth cannot have spent the entire day discussing women.
At any rate, Tyers set off for home quite elated.
But thinking of very different matters. For that was the legendary day when the idea was born to turn Foxhall into this garden of pleasures.
This is not how it looked in those days. When Tyers first saw it, Foxhall was simply a large and pretty park, with a history, however, going back to the early 17th century.
What a pity that we don't know how it looked then.
But we can get some idea with the help of the diaries of Samuel Pepys.
And now add a little fantasy.
By all accounts, it must have been a most idyllic spot.
The tidy gravel paths were lined with roses and equally sweet-scented currant bushes. And in between them grew green peas, beans, and asparagus.
And anyone whose appetite might be aroused by the sight of so much fresh, tender, green stuff could grab a snack in one of the dismounted old carriages to be found there.
While listening to the little singers who were the attraction of the gardens then, the nightingales. Ah, how simple, how innocent were the pleasures of those days.
Well, not altogether. From the very beginning, there were charming secret corners in the park where the playwrights of the Restoration loved to put their damsels in distress.
The better part of valor is discretion.
This was the innocent Foxhall that Tyers found in 1728 when he acquired the gardens.
Out of which, with the advice and help of his friend Hogarth, he made a place of entertainment, open from May to September, from early morning to late at night.
The people came in droves, most of them from quite a distance, for the gardens lay to the southwest of the city in the parish of Lambeth, and anyone coming from the city itself had to cross the river.
Ever since the 12th century, the south bank of the Thames was reached from the city by the imposing London Bridge, originally lined with houses in its entire length of 350 yards. This, in Elizabethan times, was regarded as one of the wonders of the world. However, this is the only bridge in London, and even in a carriage, it's a long way to Foxhall. The road winds through suburbs of doubtful repute, where highwaymen ply their ghastly trade.
Often they make great hauls. For in 1745, only the very rich can afford to keep private carriages.
But even the poor can travel by boat. And so the traditional approach to Foxhall is by water. The gentry found a wonderful way of turning their waterborne comings and goings into entertainment. They would take singers and musicians with them on the boat, often dressed in exotic costumes when they went to a masquerade at Foxhall.